Peace, peace. What's happening, world? It's your boy, back at it, Mr. Coldbreaker himself. Sorry for the wait. Sorry for the wait. Um, Last time we talked, we was on Nick Cannon, and the Invisible Enemy, and the type of bully culture that exists in this so-called freedom that's bestowed upon black people. Um, so I guess to say it like this, man, I gotta. The reason why I even made the YouTube was so I could find a way to express a certain need or a certain, um, not only a need, but to also apply the train of thought and a certain level of understanding and patience and enthusiasm that it takes to become awakened and be successful and all this, because it's everything that I come to find out does not benefit us in the long run when we finance a lot of these things that have been put on us, pre-programmed, and so forth. There's a lot of areas in our life that we are completely upside down and backwards on. All right, so I just try to add some dialect to it with some intelligent thoughts and solutions maybe and so forth as a result of the YouTube. So the the thing with Nick Cannon, everybody wants to be a celebrity and get money and wear clothes and jewelry and the whole life, right? And when we think that we would get there from being poor or in the have-not seat, we think that, damn, if I get there, I'll be free. Like, you see what I'm saying? And the more I study, the more I realize that the higher up you go, the less freedom you get, especially when fame is attached to it. You see? Um, so Nick Cannon, Arsenio Hall. Do you know that Arsenio Hall show went off the air when it first went off the air because I think he brung Farrakhan on the show, and the powers that be said, "Do not bring Farrakhan on the show." Arsenio's thinking the show's called Arsenio. My name is Arsenio. It's my show. I'm gonna bring him on. He brought him on, and that was the last we seen of Arsenio. They put Arsenio on suspension for probably like 10, 15 years. He reemerged in the 2015, somewhere around that time, and he had the show. The show was late night show, the only black contender for that, that late night prime time area. He was in there and he had some good interviews. Prince, he had Prince on there for a whole hour, and if you know anything about Prince, he does not do interviews. So for Arsenio to pull Prince through, that was a big deal. He had Eddie Murphy on there, so he had a lot of A-list people on there, and the show didn't last but 6 months before they pulled it and say something a lack of ratings. Not only did they pull it off the air, they also took it off YouTube also. So they let you know that when you think you go through these things, these endeavors to become powerful, you actually become weak. Like, they weaken you by buying your name and your likeness and so forth. And then they put morality clause in there and so forth. That's why you hear the sexual allegations being pulled up on some of your favorite people because of the deals that they signed. Got a morality clause in there where they don't really own the stuff that they getting royalties off of. And in the minute that we tag you as a pedophile or a freak, a rapist, a murderess, a dog animal abuser, anything like that, there goes your endorsements, there goes your royalties, there goes the thing, and your real body of work that you signed over to, they hold on to it, and that's what it is. So Nick Cannon went through something similar to that, suffered a backlash from trying to become powerful and free with his expression, and he hit the invisible ceiling by the invisible group that no one's allowed to name and talk about, even in a good way or any type of way, if you want to, especially if you want to be monetized on YouTube. So with that said, it's the Jews. All right. So listen, I was recently talking to my daughter the other day, and she said, "Dad, black it say melanin is worth more than gold." I said, "Yeah." I heard that before, and I gave it some thought. You know what happens when I give stuff thought? A certain type of truth is revealed, right? So realistically, I'm thinking, how is melanin worth more than gold? Now, let's just stop and think. What is melanin? Right? Now, whenever there's a name that is being put on us, we have to understand that we are inside a controlled environment being looked at by people who deem themselves better than you. So they will put titles on you that you will have to now own up to and use in your own dialect, because this is their dialect is coming from them anyway. Hence black, hence all the stuff that we think that we made up. Ain't nobody sit down nowhere and say, let's call us black. That's not what happened. They called us black. They called them red. They called them yellow. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they did. So the phenomenon of being black was a phenomenon to somebody who was not. So because of that, they end up examining and studying and labeling the differences that it is. So they came up with once we start to understand chemistry, we put it down to the chemistry, to a chemical level, and then called it melanin because of what it is. Right? Then they know the science that we the original people. We are the original man. So now they're going to say that everything that came, every other human that comes from existence had to come from this original gene. This original gene is riddled with melanin. So how does one who is void of melanin still tie in to the one who is rich in melanin? Is that they say that, oh, mine's not on the surface, is this and that, and blah 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 blah. Right? So when you understand that there's no such thing as melanin, melanin is an idea to describe the phenomenon of being black. It has no chemical value. It has no molecular weight or identity or anything in a scientific realm, therefore making it a theory, making it some type of masturbation word, and they put onto the masses to have us just running around doing something that yields no life. Right? Boom. So now, to say melanin is worth more than gold, let's just stay on that for as long as we can. Now, where would you take your melanin to then get the gold that is worth more than, or revenue? You don't see it at pawn shops, you don't see it at the supermarket, you don't see it at your credit agency. As a matter of fact, the people who tend to be blackest tend to be the poorest. Nations, not just one person, nations, Haiti, Africa, anything that's considered third world, I guarantee you. So where is this value at? You understand? Now, value melanin. What if I tell you that by us not putting up any resistance to any of the things that come down into your reality, right? The music, your food, your fashion, your recreation, your dream, your everything has been pre-packaged and exposed and made it like a psychological trip that you picked it and so forth. To this 2020. The tide in every ghetto neighborhood and every black neighborhood is the young, the extreme. I can't even put the bottom age. Gotta say at least 14 to 22. They going crazy. They on weird drugs. They on weird music. They beefing with neighborhoods. There's only like a 4-block radius. Every hood, not just my neighborhood. They were every hood, even in Jamaica, in Canada, and oh man, the drugs, the violence, the sexual orientation, and then you'll see, when you look at it, you'll see rappers rapping it with big money. You will see labels endorsing it with bigger money. You will see Hollywood coming in, making movies, documentaries, anything, making big money off of it. From the day one of your encapturement and becoming a slave and becoming nothing more than a product, a means in which you would turn over currency to your master, that's when your melanin became worth more than gold to the same person that deemed that you had melanin. You understand? So when you see another person, another black, I'm gonna say black because they're not golden, because they're asleep. They in blackness because their eyes closed, that third eye shut. So what can you see when your third eye shut but doom? So that's what if you want to identify with that blackness, and that's what the hell you is, because you're shut, you're closed, you're asleep. I'm golden, I'm open, I'm facing the light, I'm bright. You understand what I'm saying? I'm golden, I'm valuable, I'm so valuable they had to steal me. Just like gold. You understand? That's why I picked golden, because of the value of what it is, because it's a certain type of metal and it's precious. Man, you already know. We ain't gotta go into that. Let's back to the. So you see the black on black violence feeds a white organization. And you see the record companies feed off of that. You see what I'm saying? Then the other passiveness, that another lucrative one, is the health. They prescribe what's soul food. How many years have we broken down soul food? You see what I'm saying? Meat. People are still feeding their kids meat with this hope to think that it has some type of value to it. And then people become addicted to the meat and just the meat. So when are we going to realize? When are we going to wake up? And there's too many of us in a stupor for me to feel like there's hope. This shit is super dangerous out here, man. It's a next level game. You understand? Your melanin is worth more than gold when you are making sexual songs, and you the goddess of you the earth, you the mother nature, you the ideal woman. You fell from grace, and because you fell from grace, they got you busting it open for a goon. And none of the funny old goon, none of that, low life, heading nowhere, paving, financing, and enforcing the agenda that's been bestowed upon us that is not benefiting us in not one shape, form, or fashion. All of our idols are drug dealers. Why is that? Scarface, El Chapo, Meech, Hove, Push, whoever it is, niggas, you know what I'm saying? Why is that? I'm gonna tell you why later. But right now, they exploiting us. Exploiting is the key word. They even had a moment in time in black cinema where they call it black exploitation movies, and the black people in there were speaking what they would call jive, which we now learn and call slang, on which now evolved into ebonics. See, again, another thing that happened from outside of the people speaking slang who decided to say, oh, that's that way down there speaking. Let's come up with a proper word for that. And that proper word would be called ebonics. And you can see ebony, onyx, phonics, hooked on phonics, something phonically. You hear the etymology of the word being constructed from ancient Latin, blah, blah, blah. Ebony, ebonics, and bonics, hooked on phonics. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about the ebony sound. That's what black people sound like. Translation. So when you go, yeah, what's up, my nigga? Damn, we got, let me see. What's this right here? Some Kool-Aid? Damn, it's only got no flavor. You see? We don't say hard R's. It always sound like a at the end of these situations. So when they say, oh, I can say nigga because it's not an ER, it's an A on it. They playing on you. It's another masturbation, something that they say that yields no life, especially for us. Let's stop prescribing to empty words. Let's stop even listening to them. Whenever they are talking, if you downtown and ask you for help, grab your pocketbook, grab your wallet, and walk away diligently. If you in Walmart and you ain't got your mask on and she's acting irate, hold your ground and wish that she hit you. Hope that she hits you so that you can sue and you got the right to beat that ass. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't run. Don't argue. Don't tell her nothing. I ain't got no rap. I don't even know how to talk to you. So I don't talk. And let you just carry on in front of me. As long as you don't touch me, you already know what type it is. You know the vibes. So we're not playing that game. So it's amazing when I see people get confronted with these weirdos in the middle of the street, and they be talking back to them and all that. Like, I roll my window up, I'll act like I'm afraid of them. I lock my door, do everything they do to you. You know how to carry it because they did it to you. Same thing. You ever been lost downtown in this modern time and ask one for help and they just look at you and keep it moving? Yeah, that's how you gotta do it with them. Same way. I don't got nothing for them. Nothing for them. If you a white man and you homeless, that's a waste of white skin. If you a white man and you choose to be a cop, that means you got a secret agenda to kill us. And anything that's in that realm, military, Green Beret, Special Forces, sniper, all of that, guarantee you, that's where you're going to see where the melanin is worth more than gold, is when they keep killing people who got more melanin than the person that's pulling the trigger. So when you see the when we sell our melanin is by putting it down, by destroying it, by signing some type of contract that's ensuring that I will shrink the gene pool. As you give me more money, I will do all I can to fuck up and pollute and disorient my people. And then you get songs like WAP and the internet was in a frenzy. Then you get